Greetings and welcome to Military Connection. My name is Alan Rolfing, Director of National Outreach. During this video series, we'll chat about a host of topics relevant to the military community. Things like employment and education, entrepreneurship, and more. If you haven't already, we encourage you to visit our website at militaryconnection.com and subscribe to our newsletter. Visit us on social too. Our Facebook page is Military Connection and our Twitter handle is @TheGoToSite. Today we're going to chat briefly about navigating a job fair during your search for employment. Call them job fairs, career fairs, hiring events, career expos, whatever you call them. If you've looked for a job anytime recently, you've probably been to one. And love them or hate them, many of us consider them a necessary evil, one of those aspects in your search for employment that would be hard to replace. Job fairs come in all shapes and sizes. From the one employer at the local career center variety to the 150 employer extravaganza that was advertised at the regional or national level. Since many of you will find yourself at that registration table sooner or later, we've put together a list of things to be sure to do and things to avoid at your next hiring event. Our very own Dirty Dozen tips for job fair success. Number 1, do your homework. Pre-register for the event and try to get a listing of those companies that are attending, and do that in advance. If you have the opportunity, do a little detective work. Research them and get a feel for their open positions. You'll be able to talk intelligently about the company with the recruiter, and you'll give a great first impression. And don't rule out companies just because they're recruiting for positions outside your career field. Remember, this is a networking event. Many times it's who you know, and it's who knows you. Number 2, dress professionally. It usually boils down to dressing in a professional and conservative manner, wearing deodorant, brushing your teeth, combing your hair, and things that probably can go unsaid. But comfortable shoes, a necessity for a day like this. Number 3, accessorizing with a portfolio. Have a clean pad of paper with a list of questions. Take good notes for follow-up after the fair. And don't forget to remove the page from the top of the tablet when you've completed the interview with each recruiter. Yes, I said interview. Think of a job fair as a series of mini interviews, many chances to make great first impressions. Number 4, bring business cards and resumes. It's ideal to have a customized business card, one that introduces you as a job seeker. Resumes are your second choice. Ask the recruiter which they prefer. Bring different versions of your resume if you're searching for different types of jobs, and have them tucked in a separate folder inside your portfolio. Number 5, minimize your chances of bad breath. Watch what you eat. This is especially true for those fairs in the afternoons where it's just too easy to have onions or garlic on what you eat for lunch. Be careful not to drink coffee or smoke right before the event, and you may want to use a strong mint right before entering the fair. Number 6, smile. When you first arrive and all throughout the event, smiling is required. A recent study indicated that smiling faces were easier to remember. Start with the gatekeepers and the others that are in the queue waiting to enter the event. Obtain a floor plan of the event and locate your targeted employers. Walk the room first if needed to relax and get a feel for how the recruiters are working their stations. Number 7, put the phone away. Unless you're bumping phones to trade contact information with a recruiter or showing an employer how well you create mobile-friendly apps, just put it away. Enough said. Number 8, listen. Process what questions are being asked of the recruiter by other candidates while you stand in line waiting. Try not to ask the same questions others have asked, especially if the recruiter knows that you are within earshot and you should have been paying attention. Listen to what the recruiters are asking the other candidates, for these same questions may be asked of you. Number 9, meeting the recruiter. Don't just walk up to a table and interrupt the current conversation. Wait your turn and be polite. Some employers will have long lines which will deter and sometimes discourage the other job seekers. The amount of time you will have with the recruiter can vary from mere seconds to minutes. Take notes if possible and offer your business card or your resume. Number 10, sell yourself. Prepare and rehearse your 1-minute elevator pitch, highlighting your unique value proposition, what you can offer the employer. Be prepared to talk about your military history and work experiences, as well as your skills and abilities. Questions not to ask are those like, are you hiring? What kind of jobs do you have? What do those jobs pay? All those questions indicate that you haven't researched the company's opportunities for employment. Number 11, before you leave, each table, each recruiter, each mini interview, take the initiative and ask, what's the next step? Don't be offended if the recruiter tells you that they don't need your resume and you'll have to apply online for their open positions. If you have time, ask if there are any suggested tips for completing their online job application. Request the recruiter's business card for future correspondence. Shake hands and thank them for their time. Move away and finalize your notes. And number 12, follow up. Email each recruiter, at least those with whom you had a meaningful conversation. Email them a note about 2 to 3 days after the event, thanking them for their time and recapping your conversation, which is why notes are so important. Attach a PDF version of your resume so they'll have it in digital form. So that's our Dirty Dozen, tips for job fair success. In addition to those tips, however, here are some recruiters' pet peeves, things to avoid. Too much cologne or perfume, having a weak or sloppy handshake, using too many filler words, words like and you know and walking from booth to booth, picking up swag, the free stuff. Even worse, walking up to a recruiter with a bag full of that free stuff and then fumbling for your resume or your business card, which happens to be stuck to the free pen that you picked up from another recruiter. Those are things that you might want to avoid. But one last note about career fairs. Keep in mind that these events aren't all about you and open jobs. These events are about networking with companies that you'd like to work for. If you get a referral for a job, consider it your lucky day. It means that you did everything right to warrant that recommendation. And that about covers it. While what we've covered over the last few minutes isn't an exhaustive list, following those tips and techniques will help you stand out from the crowd. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us today. Again, please visit us online at militaryconnection.com and connect with us on social. Until next time.